There is no doubt we face a profound economic challenge. We now need stability and unity, and I will make it my utmost priority to bring our party and our country together.
Britain has a new Prime Minister. Rishi Sunak is his name, and I'll be coming back to him in a moment. But first, I want to take a moment to appreciate just how chaotic and, yes, embarrassing British politics has been in recent months. The world has been laughing at my country of birth. Sunak is the third Prime Minister in just 7 weeks after both Boris Johnson and Liz Truss resigned. That's the same number of Prime Ministers Britain cycled through between 1979 and 1997, almost 2 decades. Sunak rose to power after a surprising twist of fate. He initially tried to replace Boris Johnson over the summer, but was edged out by Liz Truss. Then Truss's tax cut plan crashed the British pound, roiled financial markets, and forced her to resign after just 45 days, the shortest tenure of any Prime Minister in British history. So after coming in second to Truss just a few months ago, Sunak got a second chance to become Prime Minister. And as if British politics couldn't get any crazier, it looked for a moment like Sunak might have to face Boris Johnson, the man he initially tried to replace. But Boris withdrew over the weekend after failing to garner enough support. So, with all that jockeying now behind him, 42-year-old right-wing pro-Brexit conservative Rishi Sunak is set to become the youngest British Prime Minister this century. He'll also be the first PM of colour, the first of South Asian descent, and the first Hindu to hold a position. In terms of diversity and representation, this is a big moment for the UK, especially considering the British Empire's tortured colonial history with India in particular. But no, this is not a post-racial moment for the UK, just as sadly the election of Barack Obama was not a post-racial moment for America. And can we all stop this lazy talk of if Sunak can be Prime Minister, anyone can? To be clear, his immigrant parents spent tens of thousands of pounds to send him to one of England's top private schools before moving on to Oxford University, an MBA at Stanford, and then a very ordinary job with Goldman Sachs. He fully cemented his elite status by marrying a billionaire's daughter. His wife's stake in her father's company is worth almost £750 million, making Sunak the richest member of the British Parliament. And look, just because you go to a posh private school, full disclosure, I did too, doesn't automatically make you an elitist. But don't take my word for it. Take young Rishi's.
I have friends who are aristocrats, I have friends who are upper class, I have friends who are, working class, but I'm not working class.
Yes, anyone can become Prime Minister if they go to the finest schools, amass gigantic fortunes, and align themselves with a right-wing reactionary establishment. So, am I delighted that a non-white Brit of Indian descent, like myself, managed to become Prime Minister? Yes. Is it great for a Hindu to get the top job, and that too on Diwali? Yes. But is Rishi Sunak or the Conservative Party going to actually help minorities or people of colour or immigrants in the UK? Don't be silly. I'm joined by Yasmin Alibhai-Brown, columnist at the I newspaper. Yasmin, what is your immediate reaction to this historic news of Rishi Sunak, a fellow brown person of ours, becoming the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom?
I did my column today on this phenomenon, if you like, which is online. And one of the lines was, so he's brown, like me. He's from East Africa, like me. So what? Are we to only make judgments on these factors and not what he has been doing? And I don't blame him for going to a private school. That was his parents' decision.
Yeah.
But I do think that so much of his life story, which was defined by him, has never served any disadvantaged person or any ordinary Briton, white, black or brown. And so for me, and he, like two others, Suella Braverman and Priti Patel, who all come from Indian African background like I do, whose parents were economic migrants, not refugees, as my family was. We weren't refugees either. We were British passport holders. To then become more anti-immigrant and anti-refugee than any white Tory, to care nothing about ordinary people. I mean, his caste is the hedge fund people, the upper class people, and high Tories, and Boris Johnson. Why should I be happy?
Does it make it easier, Yasmin, for right-wing parties, whether in the US or the UK or anywhere else in the West, to carry out anti-immigrant agendas if they have a black or brown face on it? I know it's a controversial point to make, but that is what a lot of people assume, that is why the likes of Rishi Sunak do better than others, because, yes, I mean, it's not like he's coming in saying, let's celebrate immigration.
No. And actually, Penny Mordaunt, who eventually conceded, was the only one who never used immigration. That's an interesting point. And I think, it isn't as if they're forced to become these hard-hearted, terrible anti-immigrants. Nobody makes them do it. They have calculated that therein lies advantage. And the Tory party is very good at co-option of people who have the same values as them, but who will optically give a very good impression of the party. The Labour Party are much worse than the Tories on this. I don't think they should be very proud of their record. But I don't want to see black or brown people. Kwasi Kwarteng was the same. Oh, the first black chancellor. Look where he got us. So, I just think we need to be very careful of representational anti-racism. It's what they do.
I'm someone who has banged the drum for representation, the importance of representation for a long time. But you're right, substance matters too, if not more so. And let's also talk about, you and I both mentioned his wealth. It's not just about race, it's about class. Sunak is very, very wealthy. He's a former Goldman Sachs guy, married to a tech heiress. He's almost bragged in the past about taking money from urban areas to give to other parts of the country, poorer urban areas. I wonder, is this someone, put aside the racial debate, the immigrant debate, the diversity debate, just on pure economics, is this someone ordinary Britons can trust to lead them out of this current economic crisis?
I don't think so, because I predict there'll be an austerity too that he will bring in, and he's smart enough to really push it through. And remember, his wife had non-dom status, which means that the tax arrangements which allowed her allegedly to avoid paying £20 million in tax until April this year, when, because there was a hue and cry about it, she regularized her tax arrangements. So for ordinary British voters, some of them will not like him because he's brown. There's a racist wedge, and I'm not supporting them one bit. But others will say, you are so rich that your 7 generations down from you, your descendants will never have to suffer the way we are suffering in this cost of living crisis. You have never shown us any empathy.